we need to go straight to our second discussion right now with Erin, who is already on with me. Very good day to you, Mr. Erin.
Hello, good day. Nice to be here again, once again. And thank you for the opportunity again.
Exactly. I have to also thank you for showing up, because I almost want to go for a break so that we can bring you in, but here you are right on time to start the discussion. Let's get into the intrigues of this discussion. Digital asset impact on Nigerian economy. When we talk about digital asset, what are we really talking about, Mr. Erin?
When we are speaking about digital assets, okay, so basically digital assets are intangible assets created, stored, and traded in digital forms, and they include assets like the cryptocurrencies. I'm sure you've heard about it. They include assets like NFTs, non-fundable tokens, stable coins, digital securities, and tokenized real-world assets. And they are powered by a technology called the blockchain technology, which is often a medium of exchange. Storage is a good medium of exchange across global platforms and a good investment instrument for people that like to invest in digital currency.
Exactly. Now, when we now talk about the impact on the economy, how do we get digital assets becoming so impactful positively per se, not the negative aspect, the positive aspect of it on Nigerian economy? What does it take to get that?
We have a lot of positive impact that the digital asset has made in the Nigerian economy, and I'm going to be listing a few and breaking it down a little bit. For instance, now job creation. The government has not completely. The government has smiled a bit when it comes to blockchain developers and cryptocurrency content creators. So it has given a lot of job opportunities to the up and coming youths that are just coming to the forex and the crypto space. It has given remittance a faster and a cheaper alternative for cross-border payments, because payments via digital platforms and digital assets are very swift with when you make payments via things like the cryptocurrency. And it's also a decentralized exchange. Users have more control over their assets, and they don't have to depend on central institutions to make transactions because of the digital assets. So these are a few of some of the gains, or should I say the benefits of digital assets in the Nigerian economy.
Exactly. No, but I also want to ask you one question right now. 2 days back, Central Bank of Nigeria made a decision about the MPC MPR rate. Does it have any relationship with digital assets? When they make interest rate to be 27.5%, cash reserve ratio at 50%, and liquidity ratio at 30%, will it have any impact on digital assets?
Well, my reaction, because when we are speaking on these are two different things. So my reaction personally on the interest rate at 27.5%, it just tells you that it has drawn a mixed reaction, to be honest. On one hand, it has seen a continuation of tight monetary policy aimed at curbing inflation. There's high inflation, right? On the other hand, many economic stakeholders like myself and my business partners were a little bit concerned about the impact on access for credit on business and consumers. The high rate may help reduce inflation pressure, may help reduce inflation pressure, but it can stiffen our growth, particularly in the SME sectors, which is a very, very vital Nigerian economic sector.
Now, let's get back to digital assets once again. Now, youth, as you rightly mentioned, will get employment from digital assets, but we see that there's this lacuna, this gap in terms of advocacy, enlightenment on how our youth can really engage in digital assets. But what's your assessment of it so far?
I've been on here a couple of times, and I keep saying the same thing. Digital literacy campaign is something that needs to be put in the forefront. We need to educate people a lot. I said something the last time I was here. I said this is a wave that everybody is already on, and we're just catching up with. So the government needs to help us embrace it. They have to embrace it with us, because it is the future, it is the present.
Exactly.
Do you understand? So literacy campaigns, tech-friendly regulations, access to infrastructures. We need good internet. We need good internet for this. We need more. We just need more empowerment, basically.
Yeah, exactly. But when
to
you
be
talk,
able to push.
when you talk about government need to embrace with you have seen that the government have created a law, particularly in the Nigerian stock market, for you people to participate. So what else are you people asking government to do again?
Okay. Myself, I've been in the business for over a decade. But what about the up and coming? This is a business that startups need capital to pursue. This, with the whole NPC thing that just happened right now, we are even scared that, okay, how can we even get money to even start? Do you understand? Because it's a business. Cryptocurrency, for everything, digital assets, they are all businesses. So how do we start? So you can tell us, go ahead. But how do the youths now go ahead?
I now understand your perspective in terms of what government need to do. But are you suggesting, or will you suggest that there should be a youth fund bank or a youth fund access for you to be able to engage in this digital? What I mean is this, helping you to also access funds so that this kind of digital asset that we are talking about, they can also embrace it, because most youth may complain that they don't have the money. So funding them is a solution that we could bring about. But do you think government will be ready to do that kind of thing, having funded a lot of youth initiatives across the country?
Well, the government hasn't been doing bad in funding, but it is still not enough. So there are two major aspects that needs to be focused on, right? The first aspect is the aspect that I always emphasize on, the education and the environment aspect. Do you understand? If you throw water on a rock, nothing will grow. So the most important thing is for them to focus on the education and then release the funds and monitor appropriately. Do you understand? Because for veterans like us in the business, we understand and we know that there is a lot of growth and positivity in the business. But if you should give it to if you give the funds to people that don't have the experience or don't know how to go about it, it's just like pouring water on a rock. So the funding, if they can increase it, fine. And they should also embrace the educational part of it. We need more collaborations. We need more ads. We need to bring more people on board. As a matter of fact, I say this all the time. If possible, it needs to be embedded in the educational curriculum of the youth, just so that you know how fast this thing has gone in other countries and how slow we are in catching up.
Exactly.
They are teaching it in schools all over the world right now. People are making payments with cryptocurrencies in supermarkets. Like, just imagine going to buy something at the supermarket and you pay with coins, with your stable coin. And where are we? So you see that the gap is very, very much. And the way that they are going about it, slow and steady, which is not bad, but they should also complement it with good education, so that slow and steady to build great things, not slow and steady to fumble at the end of the day.
Exactly. Now, I also like your submission in that regard, because the government, as we speak right now, is doing a lot around the digital asset of Nigeria. But let's take a look at this. Nigerian stock market, Nigerian Security and Exchange Commission, recently is about to train women and young ladies on how they can participate in capital market. Do you think that aligning with youth in digital asset could also be another long way to ensure that we have this advocacy that you are promoting?
It is a great idea. It's perfect, actually. As long as education is being put out, be it men, be it women, be it youth, be it young, be it old, as long as the information is being put out there and the knowledge is being shared, I'm giving them a plus. And you go ahead. That is what we need. We need everybody to understand these things so that they can catch up. We are lacking behind.
Now, talking about youth once again, because there's one other pertinent thing that the federal government is doing. Over 6 million youth are being trained on ICT by Minister of Digital Economy right now. But one thing I found is that the aspect of digital education you are pointing is not part of it, but they are teaching them AI, robotics, and the rest of them. So what do you think we can do to incorporate this into not just teaching people ICT, but also teaching them this digital asset economy that we're talking about?
Well, let me give you a loop, yeah? A good loop. I'll call it a good loop. Okay, so one is the idea that they are pushing people, AI, all these things. Let me tell you something. As long as you tap, because the digital world is a different world on its own, right? It's a different space. There is no way that they will not still eventually drift or drive into the cryptocurrencies and the digital payment platforms. Do you understand? Because it's just like if you're in the real world, you take money to buy things at the store. It used to be paid by barter, right?
Yeah, exactly.
We're in the time right money. There's no way. There are platforms that you are going to learn these things that you talk about, like the AI and all these things, and you will need to pay them with digital currencies. Like the world has gone that far. So it's a slow, like I said, it's a slow push, but eventually we'll get there.
Exactly. Now, let's now look at the challenges of digital asset we are talking about. Even though everybody wants us to embrace digital asset, digital economy, it has its own peculiar challenges. We could recall that the first time CBN kicked against cryptocurrency and the rest of the currencies that you can talk about was the centralization of it. Then beyond that, we are able to overcome that regulatory aspect. We now have a law from the SEC. Now CBN is also preparing their law to bring so that we can be able to safeguard this sector of the economy. But where we are having issue that we need to also address is, you pointed out funding, you pointed out advocacy. What else are the challenges of digital assets in Nigeria as we speak right now?
Okay, I'm going to list out a few that I still have in mind. Regulatory uncertainties. I would say that, although we've had good regulations, but we've seen, if you look at the history, we've seen in the past where, you say one thing and you do another thing.
Exactly.
All these things, they affect, policies. They affect cryptocurrency assets in the country, and it's limiting. Another challenge for digital assets is, the volatility. Cryptocurrencies are very, very volatile, right? While, in your previous section, because I watch your news every day, you guys do very well. You are seeing growth and drops, 2%, 3%, 1% in 3 months, in 6 months. Cryptocurrency has gone over 1,000%. Do you understand? In a short period of time. So the volatility is another challenge. So if you're not educated enough to participate in such markets, and you're on the short end of the stick, what would that mean? So that's going to be a very, very, very sad story. So another challenges that we face is low digital literacy, and I keep saying it: education. A large portion of the population lacks adequate education and understanding of how to go about digital assets as a whole. Infrastructural gaps, poor structure. We're having internet issue. Before I could get on here, I had to switch to my 5G. How many people can be on 5G? Do you understand? So all these challenges, yes, all these challenges, although they might sound minute, but it's on a big scale. It's a big problem.
Erin, I would have to appreciate you because you are young at heart. You have been around for over 1 decade. That's about 10 years doing this trading. But what would be your advice to Nigerian youth? A lot of people will be looking on to, Erin has been here 10 years doing digital asset business, and how come? What would be your advice to them?
The advice I'm going to give to anybody, I keep saying it, first things first is your education. And I don't want you to come into the space thinking that you want to make it overnight. I keep saying this. You have to start small. You have to understand that if you cannot work with something small, there's no way you can work with something big. You have to learn how to start small and then work your way up smart. It's as simple as that. That's the only advice I would give to youths, because that is the way I went about it. And that's the way I educate.
Exactly. That means for the last 10 years, you started small and you make it grow and you are where you are today.
Yes, exactly. That's the point. No shortcuts. People don't get that, but eventually people will.
Exactly. I will take that from you. There is no shortcut in digital asset wealth. That is from Erin Uba. Thank you so much for coming on the show today.
All right. Thank you very much.
We hope to bring you soon on the issue of digital asset and startup. Those are developing issues around that space. Digital asset, startup, funding, and the rest of them. I read a report some few days back, but maybe when I bring you on the show, I'll highlight you on that report. Very interesting report on digital asset startup. But thank you for coming on the show today.
Thank you very much.
All right. So I've been